Mistake with the Alpha Chapter 86. Jalen point of view. Just as Allison left, Alvin came in. Alpha, he bowed. What kept you? Prince Brock wanted to know if you were free by evening, he replied. I touched my forehead as if I suddenly caught a headache. Well, that guy has a headache. I don't know if he came here for me. I already have enough trouble for him to add his own. Why won't that guy let me be? Is he bent on frustrating me? I asked tiredly. He seems to fancy you, Alvin said as he sat down. That monster just wants to know every one of my movements so he could frustrate me. Is that fancying? I said with a cold face. Alvin looked at me and smiled. He won't be smiling if he was the one that is disturbing. It's not as if he's a female that he wants me to notice him at all cost. Let's leave that annoying guy aside. I called you here for something so important, I said now with a more focused look. Alvin adjusted himself. He knows once I'm with that look, whatever that comes out of my mouth to him is very important. Sam is pregnant, I said. Alvin looked at me with an amazed look. You mean you're Samantha? He asked. I knew he wanted to be sure that he didn't hear me wrong. I nodded. Has she later found her mate? He asked. No. Then how is she pregnant? Shouldn't pregnancy be from mate to mate? I'm just as confused as you, Alvin, but I'm sure that the baby is mine. Even if I'm not sure about anything else, I'm sure about Sam's pregnancy. It's definitely mine. If the physician was right about the date, then I can't deny that child. Alvin looked at me quizzically. I wouldn't blame him. This is a very rare thing. I've not even heard of it happening before. How are you sure about it? She's not even your mate, he said. I knew it's mine because of the date the physician told me. She was right in my house, and then she was only with Dre and Ethan. Except if they want to claim the baby, and I know they can't do that, I replied. This is so confusing, Alvin murmured. My life is, I replied to him. I didn't mean that, Alpha, he quickly apologized. And I mean it. Everything about me is so confusing. I'm thinking Sam to be my vampire mate while Allison my wolf mate. Do you think that is possible? If you can be a lichen without the blood of a lichen, everything can be possible. But then we need to tread carefully. I'm not saying Sam is a bad one, but you can't trust anyone. Just trust yourself, he advised. I know he's definitely not saying this to make Sam look bad. He's just watching out for me, his friend. Since I've known Alvin, he has a good heart. I know, but I'm sure the baby is mine. Just trust my word on that, I said. Alvin nodded. So, what are you going to do with her? I don't know. I'm quite confused, but then I'm sure I'm going to take care of her and my baby, I said with so much emotion flowing from me. Do you think Allison would be happy to hear this? He had so much concern on his face. Depending on what Allison has been doing to Sam before now, she would definitely wish to kill her. She knows. You told her? Alvin looked alarmed. The physician did, but she already told me she's fine if I make her my mistress, I said casually. And you believed her? That I didn't know the answer to. I'm very neutral here. I just shrugged. When dealing with females, one has to be very careful. I don't think Allison is someone who could share. He was giving me a disapproving look. I know I don't need my nonchalant attitude. It might bring me trouble. I was then ready to be more alert. What do you have for me? Why not send Sam to another pack till you figure things out? Once she's given birth, you can then collect your baby and bring her back, he suggested. That's a good idea, but then I won't be able to see Sam again. I don't want her away from my eyes. I don't know if she's also my mate. It would be so unfair to leave her like that, I said like a whining child. But Alvin's words were cut off by a knock. They paused and looked at the direction of the door. Alpha, your father needs your presence, the guard at my door said. Where? Alvin asked. The pack's hall. Alvin and I looked at each other and wondered what was happening. I didn't sense urgency in the guard's voice, but then, he's a guard and he won't be too emotional. Alvin and I stood up and went out. When I got to the entrance of the door, I sensed this unhappy emotion. It was like adrenaline that rushed into my body. I walked fast, and the door was open to me. I saw a little crowd in there, and someone bowing in the middle crying. Are you trying to pin this on my son because he is rich? I heard my father say. It was then my mind opened and I knew what was going on. I rushed to the middle of the scene. What the heck is going on? I growled. Hearing me, everyone shifted back and bowed. I looked at Sam, who was made to sit on the ground with my baby. She was so pale. Her red head scattered and I got angry. I demand an explanation, Dad, I said sternly. I'm here to reveal a secret here, son, he said quickly. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications to stay up to date with new videos uploaded. Also check out our next video in the series.